Alright, hello everybody. I made a muzzle flash tutorial a while back, and I stated in the video that I wanted to make a one once I had my uh, microphone and software and installed and had better equipment for the actual video. The one I made was I used my camera and my TV, so I filmed from the outside, and it wasn't a very good quality, and so I wanted to basically make a better muzzle flash tutorial. So I'm going to do that right now. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and open After Effects. I have CS6, but these are all pretty compatible with any version you have. Let's drag this over here. Okay, so I already have a project I worked on that I'm going to do for this. Alright, let's see, I must have moved the video. Oh, right, okay, hold on. Let's just open the video. I won't do the project. Okay, let me just import that video real quick. Okay. Alright, so just drag that into the new composition, and this is the video. Just half resolution, play this real quick. So there it goes. And there you have it. So, as you can see, he loads the clip, he cocks it, and he starts firing. I added muzzle flash, there's smoke, and even shells being discharged. But if you look even closer, when you can see the sight of the gun, I went ahead and animated the actual discharge shell part of the gun opening and sliding so the shells can be released. It's very fast, very subtle, but I like very small details, and it makes it more realistic if anybody ever notices. So let's show that closer as it plays normally. So yeah, if you actually pay attention, it actually looks pretty cool. And obviously, lucky for me, my Desert Eagle is a gas or a CO2 blowback, so it does it, automatically. So now I'll show you how I did these. First off, let me go ahead and show you the files. I'll basically tell you exactly how I did, how I stated it in the other video, just less, less quality, but it'll be the same gist. So I have Action Essentials 2 from Video Copilot. You can either download that, or I will show you a way around it if you don't have this. So I'll grab a couple of these muzzle flashes. Okay. Sorry, I have two screens, so my open file thing was on the other screen. I usually use After Effects on the other screen, but I'm doing this to record. So now what you would do is you'd bring out the muzzle flash, and flip it around. You can also go to, if you right click it, go to transform, it'll say flip horizontal. It'll automatically do it for you. You can hit the rotate tool, rotate it to align with the gun, right? Line it up. I usually toggle switches and turn it to add, so it just blends nicely back in the background. Now it'll fire, and it's got a little bit of smoke and everything. That's really basically it. I also like to sometimes add a stylize effect and glow. Turn down the threshold, turn up the radius, and you can adjust the intensity of it. It just adds a nice little glow effect to the lens of the camera. So there's that. I then will import the shells, which are 3D renderings from Video Copilot as well. So that's right here. Pretty cool little shell. Normally, I find where a good starting point is, rotate it to align it right, and it goes really fast, so I just scale it down to about the right size in contrast to the gun and the angle of where the camera is. Hit position, keyframe it, go forward a little bit, push it off the screen, and then there's these little Bezier handles that you can pull out and make it look like to make it arch. So just grab that and make it arch a little bit, and then the shell will fly away. Then you can turn on the motion blur for the settings and turn motion blur on for the exact item, and it will blur it as it flies off the screen. Now, for the actual slider, find a spot where it's not. Okay. Sorry, the original footage I accidentally deleted once I finished this and forgot about the tutorial, so I'll just use the already edited clip to show you how I did this. So what I'm going to do is duplicate the actual footage. I'm going to just, on the duplicated video file, I'm going to just make a little mask around the actual slider handle of the gun. Make sure you get it in there pretty good. I'd feather it maybe a couple, make it fit, blend very nicely. I would freeze frame this, so when the actual gun moves it won't actually move with the video, so it'll just stay right there so you can keep it. Now I go to position, hit P, keyframe it, go to the next. I usually do it in about 3 or 4 frames. The next frame I would go all the way to the end. The next frame, don't worry about that. The next frame I would go 2 frames down. So let's actually start a couple back. Let's move these frames back. Zoom in down here. Okay, so first frame right here, next frame all the way back. I'd skip 2 frames forward and go right here. That way that frame in between will make an actual motion of closing, because the first 2 it has to open real fast to eject the shell, and then it closes a little bit slower because it doesn't have to worry about the shell. So once you turn motion blur on for that, it'll look a lot better. Also, since the color is the same and it obviously needs to look like it's open, when it's right here, I usually take a new solid. I'll put this over here so you can see it. Make it, I usually copy this brownish color of the gun, then go inside and make it just a bit darker. Click OK, OK. Hit T, lower the opacity of the solid, and then make a little box area of the chamber. Put the resolution, the opacity back up. Put this underneath the video file so the slider is in front of it. Show the mask. Hit M and animate the mask path. So the first keyframe, actually, the first one right here where it's all the way open, just hit Alt, begin bracket, so it begins the solid there. Go to the next frame. Select these 2 parts of the mask and start to close it with the little blurred section of the slider. Do it one more time and just hit Alt end bracket, and that'll be it. So bam. So now it looks like it fires. You can also, if the gun moves a lot, hit position, keyframe the position, and just move it and make sure it matches. And there you go. Also hit F and feather it just a touch, maybe about 2, so it blends nicely. And voila. When you go back and play it, it looks pretty good. Now obviously it'll go really fast when it plays normally. First off, go ahead and Alt begin bracket at the beginning of the duplicated layer, and when it's over, Alt in bracket, so that way it won't continue to mess with anything. So also, to cover it up, to make it look just a bit more realistic, in the in the Action Essentials kit, you can find in the muzzle flash section something called suppressed fire, which are pretty good to use with pistols with silencers, or you can use it for a little fire discharge of the shell. Go ahead and transform horizontal, put it right here, rotate it to align it right with the gun. Okay, the first frame the gun opens is right here, so make sure this is Alt begin bracket, or you can just slide it over to start it there, and bam, smoke comes out like it discharged. Then you want to go ahead and put the shell, line it up with a good spot about right there, rotate it so it matches the gun, scale it down to about the size of the discharge chamber, put it right there. You want to put it underneath the suppressed fire but above the duplicated file of the gun and the slider and solid. Position, keyframe the position, go forward a couple frames and fling it out. Take your Bezier and arch it a little bit, and there you have it. Start it, Alt begin bracket so it disappears, then shows up, and then you want to turn the motion blur on. There you have it. Very realistic looking gunfire. Of course, you can also use toggle switches. Hit add for the suppressed fire just to make it blend better. And there you have it. Very realistic looking gunfire. Now, as I was saying, if you don't have if you do not have Action Essentials from Video Copilot, one of the things I learned that you can actually use instead, you can make a new solid, make it about an orangish red color, about like fire. Opacity, lower it down so you can see, and then just keyframe or rotoscope a basic muzzle flash shape. Doesn't really have to be perfect. Put it back up, hit F and just feather it a lot, and then go to add. Basically that'll serve its purpose. You can of course go to your solid settings, adjust the color now that you have an actual preview of it, make it more yellowish, orangish, whatever you feel is necessary for the color of the muzzle flash. You can adjust how much feathering you put on it. You can adjust the mask if you want to, make it look different. Whatever you want, because this is, you know, perfectly modifying, customizable. You can change it however you want to. And you can stylize and add a glow to it. Turn down the threshold, turn up the radius, and then adjust the intensity. And that's a very makeshift way to make a muzzle flash if you do not have any stock footage of a real muzzle flash. You can tweak it. That's just basically how I would do it. Now, of course, you would just alt begin bracket and end bracket, so it would literally only be a second, and it would basically do the job. You can lower its opacity so it's not as vibrant. You can change the color, you know, however you'd want to do it. Just adjust the settings to your own account, and it would do the job. So that's how you would make a muzzle flash. That's how you make the suppressor fire, the ejection shells and the actual shells and everything. And that's how I would do my muzzle flashes. I appreciate you watching. If you want any other tutorials to be done, just leave a comment on this video or on my main page. Consider subscribing. I'll be making more of these eventually now that I have all of my programs installed and all of my tools and everything that I need. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was helpful for some people out there. Like, share, leave me a comment if you want to regarding the video, or if you just want to give me an idea for another video. If you have any questions, just let me know. Consider subscribing. Thanks for watching and have a great day.